Welcome to Scare Confident. I'm your host, Tiffany Souter. Hey guys, it's Tiffany Souter back with another episode, and today we are going to be talking about what's next. The episode just before this is me talking about my transition out of Element 3 as president and CEO for the last 20 years and moving into a founder role. And that was taking the lion's share of my professional capacity. And so this podcast episode is kind of the what's next. So I am going to be moving, I'd say 70% of my time towards building and scaling the Life of And project, which is kind of the vocabulary I'm using for this now. And I'll talk a little bit about what that really looks like and what the components are. And it's not going to be a super long episode, but I do want to share with you guys what I'm doing. And so if you know of places I can scale it or things I should be doing, oh my word, please let me know. You have been such a trusted partner with me as I've built this whole thing that I don't want to stop now. So please, I would love any feedback you have. So anyway, Life of And project at its core is about helping professional women go from living a life of have to building a life of want to. And it really is about my own journey. I mean, for so many years, I had so many people cheering me on, excited that I wanted to have a big family, excited that as a female, I wanted to work outside of the home, excited that I had these entrepreneurial ideas and pursuits and things I wanted to build and do and ways I wanted to serve my community and the business environment. So many people cheering me on. But what I struggled with was, how do I actually do it? How do I get it all done? How do I have time for myself? Like, how? Please, somebody help me. And so I want this Life of And project to, yes, certainly inspire women, certainly inspire families that like, hey, this can happen and this can, you can quote, have it all. What does that mean? But what I want you also to walk away with it is that this is practically helping you be better at it, be better at executing the decisions that you've made, be better at showing up in your life for yourself, for the people you love, and for the impact that you want to have. So that's kind of a backdrop, kind of the brand of it a bit about what I want it to be, what we're building towards. And I hope you've already experienced a ton of that, because this is really just about, I think, accelerating it and creating new avenues for it. At its core right now, what the Life of And project is this podcast, which has been called Scared Confident. I asked my insiders crew, which is the people who get my, weekly, twice a week, or like every other week email. And I was like, what do you think I should do? Should I stay with Scared Confident or should I move to the Life of And podcast? And honestly, it was about 50-50, but I've decided to rebrand the podcast to the Life of And podcast. That will be happening over the next couple of weeks. It's not going to happen today because we've got just a few things that we need to button up. But I think by the 1st of May, it will be switched over. It will be called the Life of And podcast. A Scare Confident was very much where I started, but it doesn't feel true to who I am or what this is about today. A big part of my journey for sure. And my fear journey and all of those episodes will stay on the feed. They're part of my story, a part of what got me to here, but really feel like it's more cohesive for everything just to be called the Life of And. It really is my promise to the marketplace to help you build your own Life of And. And I feel like Scare Confident is just a little distracting. It doesn't hang together quite as tightly. And frankly, nobody totally remembers it. They love it when I say it, but they can't ever really remember what it's called. So that's also a problem. So we'll be rebranding the podcast to the Life of And Show. So the podcast is part of it. I created a digital course, virtual learning experience, about 18 months ago now, and have had lots of people go through that. And we're beginning to, certainly if you're interested today and you're like, hey, I really want to dig deeper into these Life of And tools, then you can go to my website and you can just, buy it and go to town. But we're packaging it also into corporate partner relationships. I have found a lot of businesses are saying, hey, we want to have more resources for our busy professional women. And we have seminars or maybe a women's group that we do monthly or quarterly, but we don't really have tools to help them. And so I've created a corporate partnership program that is a combination of some speaking events and also giving access to this virtual learning experience where cohorts of women can go through it together and really learn together, be held accountable. I'm teaching these sessions. And we also have an online community that's available like 24/7. We're in there almost every day. And so as you're going through the course, we're there to help you, give you feedback, take a look at things, just like cheer you on that like you can do this thing called life. So that's number 2. The first one is the podcast. The second is the corporate partnerships. Third is speaking. So I've always done speaking, keynote speaking, been part of people's events, but I'm doing more of that this year. It's been very fun and the message has been very well received. So if you have an event where you feel like this message of how to build a life of and is relevant to it, I'd love a call and certainly take a look and see if it would make sense. And then the last piece, and this is pretty experimental still. I will always be experimenting in my world, in my life, but again, really getting some interesting feedback on it, is events for professional women. A lot of brands are struggling with, how do I come up with like stuff women like to do? Going to NBA games or NFL games or golfing on a Friday afternoon is just not terribly conducive to my life, and it's not what I love to do. And so working with brands to create curated events for professional women is another place where we're exploring and testing and doing some pretty cool things. So we have other things we're working on that are up our sleeve, some exciting partnerships that we're working on. I'm just excited to add value to your world. I'm excited to continue to learn and grow in this world of being a content creator. It's a totally new business to learn. It's learning how to stay fresh in my own ideas. It's learning how to produce myself. It's learning how to I don't know, you learn a lot about yourself when you've decided to put a message out into the world. So I ask for your grace when I get it wrong. I ask for your support when it's helping you. Please let me know. It totally keeps you going on a bad day. And I would love just your amplification of this message so that we can help women not feel like this choice of having a career and having a family and a beautiful home and all the things that we worked for and prayed for in our younger years, we too often resent in these middle years of our life. And so I want to flip the narrative on that. I want to help you feel present in your own life. I want to give you permission to do things like outsourcing your laundry. My goal is that 100% of people who listen to this podcast do not do their own laundry, so that you have time for the extraordinary things in your life. That's really, 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 I think, what life is about. It was about relationships, impact, and there's still dishes in my life. There's still parts of it that are a little mundane, but I work hard for it to be exciting, and I want to help you do the same. So thanks for listening to this quick episode, kind of an update on what I'm doing. Also still doing some board work, serving on some boards, still supporting Element 3, scaling the Life of And project, and working to figure out how to be a great mom to a high school, middle school, elementary, and still preschooler. So figuring out this dynamic environment that is our family. So, and keep up with my husband, who's super busy and working to stay connected in the midst of some really cool things in our lives, but even good opportunities can make it hard to stay connected. So anyways, thank you for listening. Thank you for cheering me on, and let's make 2025 one of our best years yet. Thanks for listening. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Scared Confident. Until next time, keep telling fear, you will not decide what happens in my life. I will.